In the previous lectures, we have seen the quick sort and merge sort, which is a divide and conquer technique, in which on an average we'll achieve the time complexity as order of n log n, where this particular merge sort, in the worst case or average case, we'll get the time complexity as order of n log n, where in case of quick sort we'll get the time complexity of order of n log n in the normal case, but in the worst case the time complexity will lead to order of n square. Okay, so today in this lecture we are going to see linear sorting techniques. Those linear sorting techniques are radix sort and shell sort. So in this lecture we will see the radix sort. Radix sort is also said to be bucket sort. Basically, in the quick sort and merge sort, directly the numbers are compared and these numbers are arranged in the ascending order to achieve the sorted list. But in case of radix sort or bucket sort, we used to do the sorting with respect to the digit. Okay, that is with respect to the 100th place or 10th place or 1st place, first place. So based upon the digit, we are going to collect or we are going to perform the sorting. So radix sort is a linear sorting algorithm. As just now I told you, it is a linear sorting algorithm. So this is a linear sorting algorithm for integers that uses the concept of sorting names in alphabetical order. If there exist several names or a string of several strings, you want to arrange all those strings in the ascending order, then in such a cases this radix sort or bucket sort is very useful. When we have a list of sorted names, the radix is 26. That means 26 characters will 26 letters are there in the English alphabet. So the radix is 26, and we require 26 buckets for this purpose because there are 26 letters of the alphabet. Observe that the words are first sorted according to the first letter of the name. That is, 26 classes are used to arrange the names, where the first class stores the names with the begin with A, and the second class contains the names with B, and so on like that. During the second pass, what will happen? Names are grouped according to the second letter. After the second pass, the names are stored on the first two letters. This process is continued till the nth pass, where n is the length of the names with the maximum letters. So here, this radix sort or bucket sort can also be applicable on the numbers as well as on the strings also. In order to make this particular radix sort somewhat easy, the idea of radix sort is to do digit by digit sorting, starting from the least significant digit. Radix sort uses the counting sort as a subroutine. Counting sort means here we are going to count the digits and we'll take the values of the digits and we'll compare the values of the corresponding digits and we'll arrange in the sorted order. In order to do this radix sort algorithm, do the following for each digit I, where I varies from least significant digit to the most significant digit. Here least significant digit means 0th place, 1st place, 10th place, 100th place, 1000th place, like that. So from the least significant digit to the most significant digit, it will move. Sort the input array using the counting sort according to the ith digit. Here, once I will explain this example. After this example, you will automatically come to know what is the working procedure of this sorting technique. Example are like this, is like this: 170, 45, 75, 90, 802, 24 to 66. These are the elements which are in unsorted array or which are in unsorted manner. Now what you are supposed to do is, you are supposed to take the least significant digit and you are supposed to traverse till the most significant digit, and digit by digit all the numbers must be arranged in sorted order. Sort the list by least significant digit. So here least significant digit is, here in case of 170, 0 is the least significant digit. Here 5 is the least significant digit, 5 is the least significant digit, 0 is the least significant digit in the case of 90. Like that, for every number there exists a least significant digit. If you arrange all the numbers in the least significant digit sorted order, then 170, 90, because these two are having 0 as the least significant digit, 802, 2 is there, and here 2 is there. Next 4, 5, that is 24, 45. Next another 5 will be there. Next 66, here 6 will be there. So then now what will happen? The first significant digit, least significant digit, all the least significant digits in the sorted order or ascending order, 0, 0, 2, 2, 4, 5, 5, 6, like that. Now what you are supposed to do is, once you do this first phase, then in the next phase, the sorting the list by 10th place. Here you have done the 1st place, right? Next you are supposed to do the 10th place. Whenever you do the 10th place, then 802 will come into the first, because 10th place is having the 0 as the value. Next, here there is no 10th place, so here 2 will come. Next, 2 is having the in 24, 2 is the 10th digit, which is 2, which is arranged in the again ascending order. Next, 45, 66, 170, 75, 90 you will get. Now sort the list by 100th place. So whenever you sort the elements in the 100th place, then 2, 24, 45, 66, 75, 90, 170, 80. Assume that this particular unsorted list consisting of 4-digit number, then what you are supposed to do? So in addition to the 100th place, you should also go for the another phase called 1000th place. So if the unsorted list consisting of 5-digit number, then you have to go for 10,000th place also. Like that, what is the maximum element is there, you are supposed to go till that particular maximum element's most significant digit. So that means whenever the unsorted elements list is given to you, then you are supposed to find out what is the maximum element in that. So when the maximum element is taken, then automatically you will come to know how many digits you are supposed to traverse from the least significant digit to the most significant digit. Thereby you can decide whether you are supposed to go for the first one digit or 10th place or 100th place, 1000th place, or any other exponential place. So this is the way you are supposed to decide the sorting procedure of the radix sort. And for this particular thing is also the bucket sort. This way of arranging the elements in the sorted order can be done in two ways. Can be done in can be done for the integer values, at the same time for the character values. This is what the specialty of the radix sort is. The same thing was explained here. So here, after every pass, all the names are collected in the order of buckets. That the first pick up the name, the first bucket that contains the name beginning with A. In the second phase, collect the names for second bucket, and so on. So this is the same thing. You can also, instead of here, yes, for the strings, you will use the English characters or English letters like A to Z. But in case of whenever you consider the digits or numbers, then you are supposed to use the digit place, 0th place for first place, second place, and so on up to 9th place. So like that, you are supposed to do this radix sorting technique. And this is one example was given here. Sort the list of given numbers using radix sort. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, these are the numbers which are all of 3-digit numbers. So here what they have done is they have arranged in a table, and they have shown the way of sorting, just like I have given the example here. So this is what the radix sorting technique, and the code will be like this. The radix sorting algorithm will take the unsorted array and the number of elements in that array. Find the largest number in this array and make it as the largest number, because we should know what is the largest number in the array. Then only we can traverse from the least significant digit to the most significant digit. Set NOP is equal to number of digits in the largest number. So that means how many digits are there in the largest number that you have identified in the unsorted array. That is the number of passes that you are supposed to go. Set pass is equal to 0, repeat step 5 while pass less than or equal to number of positions or number of digits minus 1. Set I is equal to 0 and initialize the buckets. Repeat step 7 to step 9 while I is less than n minus 1. Set digit is equal to digit at pass place at a of I. Add a of I to the bucket numbered digit. Increment the bucket count for bucket numbered, and you are supposed to keep on repeating this till the n minus 1. Here n minus 1 in the sense the number of digits minus 1. And finally, once you do this sorting, once the sorting is over, then whatever is the leftover in the array is the elements that are in the sorted order. Now I will go for coding of this particular radix sort. Now we'll develop the code of radix sort. First of all, we need to get the maximum value in the unsorted list. So based upon the maximum value in the unsorted list, we have to identify the number of digits. Based upon the number of digits, we need to perform the digit by digit sorting. Next one is we need to have radix sort function, and it will take the unsorted list and the size of the array. Next is count sort. So here we are going to sort the individual elements with respect to the exponent value. The exponent value means here first place or second place, or that is 10th place or 100th place or 1000th place or 10,000 place. Depending upon the digit position, we need to go for sorting. So for that, we are going to take the unsorted array, then the size of array and the exponent. So first we will define the get max function. So before that, what I will take is I will take the help of the quicksort algorithm, in which we have already defined the displaying of the file. So in the displaying of the file, here displaying of the list or array. So the same function I am going to use here. Just copy paste it, and I will also take the help of main method. So this display function and main method is over for us. Now let will define the radix sort. Before that radix sort, first of all we need to identify the maximum value. Now we'll define the getMax function. Int getMax. So this getMax function is taking the unsorted list and size of the list or size of the array. Wherever I say list, it is nothing but unsorted array. So int max is equal to initial list a of 0 as the maximum element. For I is equal to int I is equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. Go through the array and find out if the a of I is greater than max, then max is equal to a of I. then return max. So once you get the maximum value, now we'll define the radix sort. So it is taking the unsorted array and the size of the unsorted array. Now first we need to get the maximum element. So int m is equal to get max of a comma n. So we'll get the maximum element in the unsorted list. Then do counting sort for every digit. So to get the digit, we need to go through the exponent. Int exponent is equal to initially exponent is equal to 1. That is the first least digit that we are going to consider. Next, this maximum element by the exponent should be greater than 0, and exponent should be incremented by multiple of 10. So then only we'll get the first digit, first least digit, second 10th place, 100th place, 1000th place, like that. So for every exponent digit, we need to perform the count sort. So in this a comma n comma exponent, this is the count sort we need to perform here. Now our task is to define the count sort. Count of a of I by exponent modulo 10. Then we will get the remainder. So the remainder corresponding value will be incremented. For then what we are supposed to do is change count of I so that count of I now contains actual position of digit. For I is equal to 1, I less than 10, I plus plus, we should record the number of occurrences of the same digit. So count of I is equal to count of I plus count of I minus. Then we are supposed to build the output array. The output array will be built like this in the reverse manner. N is equal to n minus 1, I is equal to n minus 1, and I is greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. Now we need to record it in the output array. Output of count of a of I by exponent. A of I by exponent modulo 10. Modulo 10. Then that means remainder value. Then remainder value minus 1 is equal to a of I. Then count of a of I by exponent modulo 10 minus 1. That means we have already counted the digit. That digit will be removed from count. Now the copy the output array to A, that is the list. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus A of I is equal to output of I. That's all. This is the way we'll go for count sort. Then display function is there. That means for every exponent digit, the corresponding sorting takes place for by digit. Now elements before radix sort. Here display of A of I is instead of quick sort, we'll go for radix sort. A and the number of elements after radix sort, display of A cover A. So here what is saying, A is not a function or a pointer. Okay, here we have the indexing made wrong here. A of I by exponent. Well, this is the output that what we are getting here. So 38, 27, 43, 3, 9, 82, 10 are the unsorted list. And after sorting 3, 9, 10, 27, 38, 43 and 82. So this is what the radix sort is. This is the way of functioning of the radix sort. And this is the radix sort function implementation. Now let us see the complexity of the radix sort algorithm. To calculate the complexity of the radix sort algorithm, assume that there are n numbers that have to be stored and k is the number of digits in the largest number, because we are supposed to sort based upon the largest number digits. In this case, the radix sort algorithm is called a total how many times k times it will be called, and the inner loop is executed for n times. N times in the sense here the number of unsorted elements. Hence, the entire radix sort algorithm takes order of k into n times to execute. When radix sort is applied on data set of finite size, a very small set of numbers, then the algorithm time complexity will come to order of n in the asymptotic time. But the major disadvantage of this radix sort algorithm is, in order to store the digits in an intermediate way, it requires that many number of buckets. So these buckets will be stored in the memory. So that is the reason, if as the number of elements are more, and if it is applied on the lengthy numbers, then obviously that many buckets are required to store the count. So that is the reason, even though radix sort in an average case it is showing the order of an asymptotic time, but the space complexity is somewhat high. So as we discussed in the previous asymptotic notations lecture, that if you want to achieve one thing, you are supposed to compromise some other thing. So here we have achieved good processing or good time complexity in terms of order of n, but we are supposed to sacrifice the memory requirement. That means here the space complexity need to be compromised, because it requires buckets or it requires some count to store the number of digits available. So obviously, as the number of elements are there, as more number of elements are there, that many buckets are required to store the independent digits. So this is what the radix sort algorithm, and which is also called as bucket sort. We'll discuss some more sorting techniques in the next lecture.